Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Friday, February 17th, 2012, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. We have great television archives top of the page, eye candy right below, and over in the corner, our rock and roll poll question. I'm sorry to say that yesterday only 17% of you said you'd ever had a chance to go see a Cardinal spring training game down in Florida. The great old days at Al Lang Field there in St. Petersburg with Tommy, the singing vendor, and now, of course, Roger Dean Stadium. I will say this. The old days were great because it was great for the fans, not so good for the players. They didn't have enough facilities down there, but it was, it was relatively inexpensive to go do a trip down there. Now in Jupiter, geez, bring money, bring a separate suitcase filled with dollar bills because it is expensive down there, but it's really, really cool. But 83% of you said, no, I never had a chance to go to Cardinal spring training, which makes me sort of sad, and maybe I'll quit boasting about the fact that I've been there almost every year. Not going this year, but this is going to be the first time in many, many, many years I've not gone to Cardinal spring training. All right, speaking of baseball and other things to celebrate, Mardi Gras is this weekend. So I put together a list of what I think are the biggest days of celebration, the biggest party days in St. Louis in order. All right, today's rock and roll poll question, do I have it right? Here they are. Cards opening day at number 1, St. Patrick's Day at number 2, 4th of July, fireworks under the arch at number 3, and Soulard Mardi Gras at number 4. Am I correct? Do I have those right in order? The biggest sort of party celebratory days in St. Louis. Please answer in the corner. We'll have results for you on Monday. And of course, every day on the Big 550 KTRS, where Trish Gazelle and I reside every day from noon until 3 o'clock. Is there an Adele sex tape? Yesterday, a bunch of websites went nuts. Some French magazines said they had it, and now Adele this morning says she is suing that magazine, laughed it off, said it is absolutely an impossibility. She heard about it, by the way. She was in the midst of having another throat surgery, this time for the removal of a corn dog. Us Weekly claims that Chris Brown has a new pickup line, this schmuck. He goes up to women and says, can I have your number? I promise I won't beat you. Rihanna, in the meantime, threw a birthday party for herself in L.A. on Monday. Didn't have a lot of pictures, but somebody got a picture of the cake, which is a shot of Rihanna straddling a massive joint. This is not going to end well. You can just see this coming. She turns 24, by the way, on Monday. Is Janet Jackson going to be a judge on the X Factor? That is the new rumor. And China. Remember China, the professional wrestler? She's going back to porn, which is, I guess, where her roots were. It's a wrestling porn movie, and she's getting it on with lookalikes of people like Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. Not the real guys, but people who, quote-unquote, look like them. Gary Busey. Hard to imagine that Whitney Houston is dead and Gary Busey is still alive. And by the way, speaking of Whitney Houston, I didn't really want to do any of those stories because it's like enough already. But Kevin Costner is going to be amongst the speakers at the funeral tomorrow. So for the first time since The Bodyguard, Kevin Costner is going to actually have a speaking part that somebody will watch. Anyhow, Gary Busey filed some new documents in his bankruptcy case saying that he owes more than $508,000 in various debts, but only has assets of $26,000. These are the list of his possessions. He might as well have left some of this stuff out. It says here 300 VHS tapes, 5 pairs of old moccasins, and a broken pellet gun. All right. He says he makes 19. Well, just forget it. Just forget it. Paul McCartney says he's given up pot finally at the age of 69 because of his daughter Beatrice, who's now 8 years old. He says Bob Dylan was the guy who turned him on the pot for the very first time. All right, we have the Oscars coming up a week from Sunday, and Jimmy Kimmel is loading up his 7th annual After the Academy Awards special. He's got Oprah, he's got Jessica Biel, Jason Bateman, Steven Tyler, Ryan Phillippe, Colin Farrell, Edward Norton, Tyler Perry, Billy Crystal, Meryl Streep, George Clooney, Martin Scorsese, Coldplay, and there you go. Somebody posted a list of the 10 most popular celebrities who refuse to get their teeth fixed. Among them are Anna Paquin from True Blood, Steve Buscemi, Kirsten Dunst, Madonna, Woody Harrelson, Jewel, Seal, but no David Letterman. Sort of surprised by that. Saturday Night Live this weekend, hosted by Maya Rudolph returning to the scene of the crime. You'll recall she did a pretty good Whitney Houston imitation back in the day, and you've got to wonder whether or not they'll have the balls to wheel that back out. In the meantime, Kristen Wiig is on Letterman tonight, who, of course, is rumored to be leaving the show very soon. This week, VH1. And when people do top 10 lists or top 25 or top 100 lists, whenever they come out, you always sort of look at it and go, what are you talking about? They're designed to just get people talking and arguing with one another and everything like that. But, if you're going to have any sort of credibility, you should work at least a little bit, do at least a little bit of homework to try to get the thing somewhat accurate. VH1 all week long has been doing the top 100 greatest women in music. And when you look at it, obviously you should say the top 100 greatest women in music since about 1990, because here's the list. Number 10, Pink. Now you can see this is not going to go well. Mary J. Blige at 9, Christina Aguilera at 8, Janet Jackson at 7, Whitney Houston at 6, Adele at 5, ahead of Whitney Houston. Lady Gaga at 4, Beyonce 3, Mariah Carey 2, and the number 1 best singer, greatest woman in music of all time, Madonna, according to VH1. They're obviously not taking vocal ability into consideration. I've often said Madonna, while I was a fan back in her early days, Madonna sounds like Minnie Mouse on helium. And when you start putting Madonna ahead of Whitney Houston, there's something screwy. And by the way, where's Bonnie Raitt? Possibly one of the best pure singers of all time. Where's Linda Ronstadt? Where's Ann Wilson of Heart? Where's Grace Slick, even, for God's sakes? Maybe that's why I don't watch VH1 anymore. All right, interracial marriages have hit an all-time high. According to a new study, about 15% of all marriages in 2010 were interracial. Overall, 1 in 12 marriages in the United States are interracial. White Hispanic is the most common interracial marriage, followed by white Asian and white black. Facebook has issued now actually it leaked out, but this is the list of their guidelines, their content guidelines. In other words, the stuff that you can and cannot get away with posting on Facebook. I got a couple of the highlights. Photos that show side-by-side comparison between a person and an animal will be censored. Images of drunk or unconscious people with stuff drawn on their face will be censored. Graphic photos of dead animals will be censored. Body fluids will not be censored. Vomit, snot, earwax, anything in the toilet, apparently you get the all clear on. And photos of blatant depiction of camel toe and moose knuckles will be removed. All right. JC's Eye Candy today. If you're going to the zoo this weekend, consider doing what this guy did. This is the same guy who came up with the iPad idea back on Halloween, where he basically took 2 iPads and used the reverse camera function, put one on his chest and one on his back, and it looked like he had a hole going through his body. It was unbelievable, frankly. Well, he's got another idea. So he goes to the zoo, and he drills a hole in a mirror about yay big. And then takes the camera with the reverse function and puts the lens of the camera through the hole. And all of the monkeys and chimps and orangutans and everything went nuts, coming right up to it. He held it up against the glass, and he's got these unbelievable shots of these apes. In one case, you can actually see the pupils dilate on the ape's eyes. He's that close to the camera. Just the way my old boss used to react when we watched Fox News. All right. So there you go. All right. JC's rock and roll poll for the weekend. Again, here's the order of biggest days of celebration, party, whatever we want to call it, here in St. Louis. Cards opening day at number 1, St. Patrick's Day at number 2, 4th of July fireworks under the arch number 3, and the Soulard Mardi Gras at number 4, which of course is this weekend. Do I have that order correct? Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think I got it right. So answer in the corner. We'll have results for you tomorrow. That's it. JC's Daily Dose for Friday, February 17th, 2012. A combined venture of Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. Have a great weekend, everybody. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.